Hey, it's Kevin with the New Warehouse podcast on site here at the LVK Fulfillment Center in Las Vegas for the AI in Logistics event by Ship Hero. And I'm joined by a Ship Hero customer, Courtney from Brandfox. So, Courtney, welcome. Good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you, Kevin. Thank you for hosting me.
Of course. What do you think about the event so far today?
It's awesome. I'm glad that they're bringing that AI to the forefront, and actually was just having a moment with Aaron here where I said, I was with you from the very beginning, the infancy. So I was told I'm one of the OGs, and to watch what they're doing now. To that, I told Aaron, I'm like, I'm just so excited for you guys and to be a part of the process and watch that, like, in that infancy stage as a WMS. And now you're talking about how we can really save clients and customers real money, real savings, and improve accuracy and economics through AI.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're with Brandfox. So
Yep.
so tell us a little bit about Brandfox for those that are not familiar.
Yeah, so I am the founder. I joked after I exited my first company.
Mhm.
I had a little farmette, said I'm just gonna like semi-retire and
Okay.
with my little warehouse, was just gonna pick pack, orders for nonprofits. And I said, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna be like semi-retired. It's gonna be awesome. And next thing you know, Shopify came in knocking, and we built Shopify's East Coast warehouse
Okay.
along with JB at Salceda in Texas. And then we exploded, and we have a 500,000 square feet of warehousing in the East and West Coast. And now I live out here in Arizona, so just a little south of here in Las
Oh, okay.
Vegas. So,
Okay.
yeah. So, and now we are omni centers. So we really focus on that. Really have a lot of B2B with e-commerce technologies that we combine, both
Okay.
AI from retail compliance, which is a huge conversation nowadays,
Mhm.
to intelligent routing and pack outs to make sure our clients get accurate orders in a cost-effective manner.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're leveraging AI to do that. You
Mhm.
said, okay.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about, how did you get started with AI, like bringing it into the business? Like, how did you first realize this is something we need to explore and we need to leverage?
Yeah, it's funny you asked that question because it was like there was like two, it's like a double-edged sword that came out. One, our retail business had grown so large
Mhm.
that I know a speaker earlier today, like trying to learn, 150-page routing guides,
Yeah.
and we had specialists for Target and specialists from Walmart and Epi and all. That got so expensive to do. I mean, just entirely too expensive to continue to like scale and build that. On the other side, as we started to scale our daily volume from a meek 75 orders a day to 10,000 a day and more, um, intelligent routing, which orders to pick and what sequence, when are clients exceeding their what we call capacity limit for that day through our 6-week rolling forecast that we do with them, and to be able to have those conversations. So we kind of split our AI technology between retail compliance on the retailer side to make sure the way we pick, label, and get orders into the retail is accurately. We now can tell clients successfully that we can reduce their chargebacks by 75%, and we have an AI tool that can prove that out. They can upload all their documents, and we can prove that out. And then on the e-commerce side, we do a lot of intelligent, what we call routing and intelligent like pick workflow. So that way we can have conversations with clients to say, hey, you've exceeded your limit. How would you like us to do? Do you want us to do overtime? Do you want us to push them out across a couple days, or how do you want to prioritize the work to get it done on time and to meet customer SLAs?
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of stuff going on there, right? And a lot to apply AI to in that regard. So, and I think we see, there's so many different things that you can do with it, right? So many different applications, and we see a ton of different solutions out there as well, leveraging AI to do different things. So how do you and your team kind of go about assessing like what is the right tool to utilize, or what is the right tool to go after?
Yeah, I think I still think it's kind of in an infancy stage where I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of shotgunning approaching and saying, does this work? Does this not work? And sometimes there's technology that phases up and then phases down. So I think anybody that maybe says like, oh, we have this real in-depth process and everything else. I mean, uh, Just to learn, I went to University of Arizona and took their AI course that they had. They had
Okay.
like an
All right.
8-week course and how to guide Rails and all that kind of stuff. I think what happens is you start with the technology,
Mm,
like you see a need, right? How do I, we kind of talk internally, how do we remove the human from making decisions?
mm.
Unfortunately, right, we all have brains, which is also a beautiful gift that we can think
Yeah.
and develop stuff, but then we can think and break processes too.
Yes.
And how can we stop that? How can we reinforce behaviors um, that get the outcome that we want? So I think again, we start with a tool, like we have Robo, over our pack stations,
Sure. Yeah.
and then we've begun to evolve it. Well, what more do we want out of Rebel? Like, we don't just want this. We want to be able to identify this, and we want this to develop a coaching process for our teammates, and we can come back to our team members and say, "This is what we see. Here's the clip. See how you did this. Here's how you can improve this." And we can go through those discussions. So it kind of starts here, I think, and
Mhm.
kind of evolves, and then you'll get over here, and I should probably plug in this piece, and then starts to evolve again, and you kind of develop this, kind of I call it like crawling strategy
Yeah.
that gets you up to where you want to be.
Yeah, interesting. And I think it's interesting to say it's in infancy, right? Because I think, just because AI allows things to just go so much faster, right? This evolution is just happening, and there's so many different unique things that are happening in that regard. So what is kind of the coolest thing that you think that you've all have implemented from an AI perspective so far? Like, what's something that you're like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, the my little piece that I absolutely love is our intelligent kind of order workflow with the
Okay.
AI tool that we use. That's the one I get so excited about
Hmm.
because it gives conversations to clients, to customers. Because a lot of the customers, to be completely fair to them, don't know how to forecast.
Yeah.
They just want everything to go now, right? They
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
instant on demand labor all the time. And unfortunately, while all of us in the warehousing business probably wish we had 100 people just hanging out all day, just waiting for that
Never
extra
ending.
volume whenever you need, I just pull that lever and they're there. We don't, we
Mm,
can't afford that. So I think that has been really cool because what happens is we'll have customers that have these huge order flows or they exceed their daily limit. We have that rolling 6-week limit. It begins conversation. Hey, what happened that exceeded that? Oh, well, that was a promo we ran. And then how then we can then document that internally and say, okay, this is what we statistically see when these promos hit.
mm.
What can you talk to us ahead of time? The promos, we statistically see this. So we almost begin guiding that 6-week forecast for our customers, really inviting them in the process. A lot of them will say, hey, thanks for having that conversation that we exceeded 120% of our forecasted volume. Of course, some of them are so like, can you get everything out today,
Yeah.
Court? And can you get it out without charging me anything for it? And if we can, we'll try to. That's always our goal
Yeah.
to be there. But it builds that dialogue. And I think communication builds that partnership. Where I hope, again, I always joke that Brandfox, we don't have fulfillment in our title for a reason, but we do have brand in our title for a reason.
I like that. Very interesting. And so, if we look at this and kind of these evolutions, right, and bringing these new tools in, I mean, how do you think, when we look a few years into the future, right? I mean, what does like the future warehouse operation look like to you?
I think you're going to get to the point that it's very minimal person involved.
Mm.
I think you're going to get to a very large intelligence. I love the acronym today, right? Data rich,
Oh yeah,
intelligence poor.
drip, right?
Yeah, drip.
That was good.
That was really good because I think that's even us, right? We have all this data.
Mm.
What are we doing to make improvements to it? And I think the more, again, the more we can like either guide our team members or remove people from the process and get consistency. I look at my first business and that was in manufacturing, right? And once you set up a production line, it goes over and over
Mm.
and over again. I think the same thing in fulfillment. The more we can use AI to drive almost a production methodology, right? Like it happens this way every time, no matter what, because Bob or Sally can't make a decision.
Mm.
They just got to follow what the AI is doing, and even to the point where maybe it is just completely a machine doing it.
Yeah.
I think you'll see that then that'll begin to drive down those costs and be consistent and be efficient and the quality there.
Yeah, interesting, interesting. And I think it'd be interesting to see kind of that evolution. And I think, a lot of this stuff is coming much faster than we probably thought it would a couple years ago, right? And I think as we see the AI get more reps in, essentially, right,
Hmm.
it just improves over time and gets better. So it'd be really interesting to see the kind of that evolution. So now, what would you say? So last question
Yeah.
here, right? What would you say to anyone that hasn't gotten started with AI? How would you suggest to them to start to look at it and where to kind of attack first?
Yeah, I think I'm very open. I think you're in a tough period of economics, macro and even micro through, the trade. I'll call it trade wars going on and
Sure.
positioning. I think as a 3PL, you have to get smarter,
Mm,
and I believe in these periods, smart and lean win. So I believe these tough periods push you into maybe uncomfortable zones that you've never thought about.
mm,
And I think if you don't step into AI, don't get smarter, leaner, you're going to get left behind. And then what happens is that wave is so tough to get caught back up, sometimes drowns people in the process.
mm.
So I kind of highlighted that when I was starting this fulfillment, St. Ange, which is a very large
For sure.
consultant
Yeah.
group, they had designed our first facility. And one of the practices they do at Amazon with them is they call it picking at the ends of the aisles. And they come in and pick at the ends of the aisles. And what's funny is we wouldn't slot that way because of the way Ship Hero would just do the serpentine picking.
Mhm.
Well, now with their new intelligent picking, you can now move the product to the ends of the aisles. And so your hero SKUs, you can just pick real quick,
Mm.
really reduce those steps. And again, you know, uh, better is better, more is not better. So more
Mm.
people doesn't mean you're going to be better.
Yeah.
Larger facilities doesn't mean you're going to be better. Better is better. And AI helps you be better.
Mm, okay, I like that. That's very good. So really appreciate you joining me here and sitting down to talk a little bit. If people want to connect with you or learn more about Brandfox, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, they can go to LinkedIn. You can see me there, Courtney Abel. You can also feel free to email me at court@brandfoxllc.com. I'm trying to get most of my emails. It is a lot, so I'm not always the fastest there. So,
Maybe we can use
yeah,
AI.
we could use AI. I got caught in on that. What was he talking about? The one like with the like scan all your AI, all your emails and go through that.
Yeah.
So it sounds like, ooh, I might have to do that. Here's what ones you should answer, Court. So, yeah.
All right, great. I will definitely put all the information about Brandfox in the show notes here. So Courtney, thank you very much for joining me today.
Well, thank you as well, Kevin. Keep up the great work.
Thank you. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's video here on our YouTube channel, the New Warehouse Podcast, and I appreciate you tuning in. If you liked what you saw, make sure you subscribe to our channel, and if you like this video in particular, make sure you like it as well. And if you want to get this great t-shirt that you see in the video behind me, Warehouses Are Sexy, head to warehousesAreSexy.com and get your own.